extremely serious immigration consequences. Get a clue.
The defendant struck her with an open hand to her right cheek.
And it's only been a mere 30 days since you picked up this case, and not to mention all those other cases.
Welcome to Bench Report Court Cam.
Good morning, Mr. Negrete.
Buenos días, señor Negrete.
Okay, buenos días.
Okay, good
Do you
morning.
have a lawyer today?
¿Tiene un abogado hoy?
No.
Shh. What are you doing about that?
¿Qué está haciendo usted por eso?
¿Cómo así?
What do you mean?
You need a lawyer to represent you in this case.
Gente en este caso.
Pero es que lo que pasa es que cuando el oficial me agarró, yo estaba parado en la luz.
Whoa.
No puedo hablar de eso.
Okay.
We're not talking about the case.
Hablando del caso.
The only thing we are talking about is if you have a lawyer.
No, I don't have it.
What have you done to look for a lawyer?
La verdad no había hecho nada porque estaba ocupado, pero
Honestly, I haven't done anything because I was busy, but
It's time for you to look for a lawyer.
okay.
You are facing up to 6 months in jail
6 meses
and or a $2,000 fine, not to mention extremely serious immigration consequences if you're not a citizen. This is not a joke.
Esto no es un juego.
Do you understand?
¿Se lo entiende?
Sí.
We will give you 30 days.
Al 30
You need to start looking for a lawyer,
para buscar un abogado.
Okay.
Okay.
please.
Thank you, sir.
Conteste a voz alta.
Sí.
Okay.
Judge, this is Vasquez Hernandez.
Quiet down for a plea.
Mr. Vasquez Hernandez. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine.
Una multa de hasta dos.
You guys have worked out an agreement. They're offering you 3 days in jail with credit for the 2 days that you've done. You need to understand that this agreement,
Esta acuerdo
you've worked such that it will now go on your record.
va a salir en su-
It will be there for the rest of your life. It's even there after you die. This is important because if you ever get pulled over, first thing officers do is they look at your prior criminal history. If they see that you have a prior DWI and they roll up to your car and they smell alcohol,
Van a su
or
casa.
they smell marijuana, it's probably not going to go well for you.
Muy bien.
So if I were you,
Si yo
I would
fuera-
never, even if you've had a sip of alcohol, get into a car and drive
Es un carro y maneje.
because
Que
you could be paying a heavy fine for it.
paga una multa o una-
Do you understand?
¿Lo entiende?
Sí, señor.
Yes, I
We're
do.
giving up a lot of rights by entering into this agreement. You give up the right to a trial,
Con su derecho
right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you plead guilty, you can never change this or undo this. It will go on your record
va
and it will be there forever.
a estar por siempre.
Is this what you want to do?
¿Quiere hacer?
Sí.
Yes,
How do you
yes.
plead to the offense of driving while intoxicated?
Guilty.
I will find you guilty. I will sentence you to the agreement.
A la fuerza.
There is the surcharge and fees and fines.
Judge, we wanted to see if you could waive those fines. My
He's
client.
wearing a Maserati shirt.
Usted tiene una camisa puesta de Maserati.
Does he drive a Maserati?
I don't think
Él
so,
maneja
Judge.
un
He's telling me
Maserati.
he
Dice, no, él
makes
dice
right now between
que gana
1,000 and 1,500 a month.
a 1,500 al mes.
What kind of car do you drive, Mr. Vasquez?
Un Honda. Tenía pero ahorita no tengo.
I Honda, I had one, but I don't have one anymore.
What do you do for a living?
¿Qué se dedica usted?
Tell me that's not a Maserati shirt.
Trabajo en construcción, pero ahorita no tengo mucho.
I work in construction, but I don't have a lot of work right now.
How much money do you make a month, sir?
¿Qué tanto dinero gana usted al mes, señor?
No, de 1,000 a 1,500.
Between 1,000 and 1,500.
Let me be frank with you, Mr. Vasquez, that what you're asking me to do is waive around $4,000 in fines and fees and surcharges. I will reluctantly do that. But if you come back the next time, it is a $6,000 surcharge, not to mention court costs of around $700. So you could be potentially rolling out of here with around $7,000 in fines and fees.
$1,000 en multas y cuotas.
Get a clue. Because if you come back, it's really not going to go well.
No le va a ir bien a usted.
The other thing, from now on, you are facing a minimum of 30 days in jail. So the proverbial slap on the wrist from today, not anymore.
No va a resultar. No va a
Do you understand?
entiende.
Sí, muy bien.
All right, good luck to you, sir.
Your Honor, thank you.
Dominic Martinez.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Martinez, you're charged with assault of a family member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Oh. Looks like he just picked up a DWI.
Yes, Judge.
He's been on bond for an assault of a family member, and now he picked up a DWI second.
It was just filed on the 21st of this.
Going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
Probable cause on the DWI or?
Yeah.
Yes. On November 21st of 2024, the officer observed a motor vehicle traveling eastbound in Harris County, Texas, weaving in and out of its lane. The officer observed the vehicle to cross over the traffic line dividers with its driver's side tires, and the officer then ran the vehicle's license plate through NCIC and observed the registration to be expired as of September 2024. The traffic stop was initiated, and the officer made contact with the driver, the defendant. The officer was handed a Texas ID, not a driver's license, and upon researching this, the officer found that the driver's license of the defendant was not eligible and that he had an outstanding warrant. Furthermore, the officer noted the prevalent odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from inside the vehicle, and the officer observed droopy eyelids and the defendant to have poor coordination in looking for his wallet. The defendant was removed from his vehicle, and the officer further noted slurred speech, red, glassy, watery, bloodshot eyes, and the smell of a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage. The officer noted that the defendant's speech was also very dry and that the defendant had cotton mouth, and the officer observed the defendant burp and could smell, furthermore, odor of an alcoholic beverage, even more prevalent. The defendant stated he was coming from a local bar where he had consumed 3 Michelob Ultra beers when asked about the smell of alcohol, and the defendant stated that he had been drinking and told the officer, "Take me, I'll take it, that's fine," referring to him being taken to jail. Standard field sobriety tests were conducted, HGN 6 out of 6, and walk and turn was not performed as the defendant began arguing with the officer, stating that he was falsely accused last time he did the test. The defendant refused to use an imaginary line and further refused the testing. DIC was read, and the defendant refused. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Was this an open to be? Was he on bond for this case, for the assault? And he pick up a DWI? Had we put conditions on him not to consume? Had we done anything with the assault and then he pick up a DWI?
The assault family member was a 2B for a few months. There was an open warrant for a few months before he posted bond.
Martinez, let's go through some of your history here. Since 21, DWI, interference, another DWI, and now in 24, another assault and another DWI. I want you to do, and I want you to understand something and hear me clear, Mr. Martinez. I will do everything in my power to protect my county at all costs. Take note, because I'm putting a whole host of conditions on you now, and if I find that you violate this, I will deem you a public danger, put you in jail, and make your bond so high you will have teeth falling out. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care what is going on in your life. Do not drive. If you do, I can have a contempt hearing. You'll be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time
Yes, sir.
you get into a car.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the assault, please.
Yes, Judge. So for the assault, the complainant and the defendant are in a dating relationship, and on September 28th, 2024, the officer was dispatched to a physical disturbance in Harris County, Texas, where the officer spoke with the complainant, who stated that she and the defendant began to argue. The complainant stated she wanted to leave, and while walking out, the defendant struck her with an open hand to her right cheek. The complainant stated she fell to the ground. The complainant then went to her car, saying she was going to call 911. The defendant followed her, asking if she was really calling 911, before then fleeing the scene. The officer observed the complainant's cheek to be red and swollen.
Alcohol a factor? Do you know?
There's no allegations, Your Honor.
Mr. Martinez, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. I am now ordering you not to drive, and I'm giving you a curfew. I'm giving you a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. that you're not allowed to go out. On one ankle, I will put a GPS monitor. On your other ankle, I'm going to put a scram monitor so I know that you're not consuming alcohol. You violate any of these conditions, life will not go well for you. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Can you file orders for a guardian interlock? I am also now ordering you not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have a guardian interlock. We are sending notice to DPS now. So if you're caught driving a vehicle and it doesn't have an interlock on it, every officer will know about it, and hopefully they will put you into custody. If not, somehow, my magic ball, I will find it, and I'm going to find you, and it's not going to go well. Do you understand?
Yes.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. So I'll first have you swear to us that you're not going to get into a car, sign a reset with Victoria, and then you'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions. Don't pick up a third case.
Yes.
Are you doing the more?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Come back. I forgot.
GPS and Scram, how long would you like for those?
Today.
Today.
With the assault case, I am entering what's called a magistrate's order for emergency protection that identifies Ms. Gonzalez as a protected individual. You cannot commit family violence or an assault against this person. Commit an act in furtherance of an offense under section 42.072 of the Texas Penal Code, which is the stalking statute. You cannot threaten, harass, use another person to communicate a threat or harassing behavior. You cannot go within 200 feet of where she lives, where she works.
She's not fiance now, sir. And now, so now
Not
just
have any
move.
contact with
Just
her
move.
until I know that she does. So I'm going to have her, if she's here, we can have her talk to the DAs.
I can get her here. That's fine.
Just, I don't want you to say anything, Mr. Martinez. You're in enough as it is now. Just don't. Until I know that she wants to have
we live
contact
together
with
now,
you.
so that's why I want to know, do I need to get my stuff today and go?
I'm entering this order for protection today. You cannot go back at this point until I know that they have contact with her. I mean, we have a full house today. Here in a
I
bit,
just don't want to, yeah, I don't want to mess up. That's why I asked. Okay.
in a bit, I can have them reach out to her to see what her position is.
Yes.
But regardless, I want you to understand, no threatening or harassing contact.
No.
What is threatening or harassing doesn't matter what you think. It's what she perceives. So is that threatening, harassing? It is. So be careful. All right. I'll have you sign all the documents and then we'll just have you take a seat in the jury box. THA.
I have the granting of the occupational driver's license. The reason it didn't require interlock is because he had it prior to this. He got it for tickets that were unpaid because he didn't have insurance. He has current active insurance. I have the ODL right here.
Who gave it to him? Is it a JP court?
Yes.
Can imagine knowing that he has that open DWI in Galveston and knowing that he has now picked this case up here where it has an alcohol. I can't imagine that they're going to let, you know.
But right now it is still active. So are we?
I don't know how comfortable I feel with him driving. Are you mom? Come on up, mom. Come up, Mr. Hodges. Thank you so much for coming. How's it been not driving?
Not enjoyable.
Blows, right? Good. Wonderful. Because I want you to understand, it is a privilege. It's not a right. And we do everything in our power here to ensure that we don't kill anyone on the road. Watch the news. Every day, every day, someone dies on our roads because of an alcohol-related collision. It's disgusting. And you're familiar with everything that he has open.
Yes, I also am familiar that one of my husbands was killed on the road by someone that was drinking as well.
It's disgusting. It's so sad, you know? And I took his privilege to drive away because of what's going on with Galveston. And now here we have the same situation here. They didn't charge him with DWI here, but very well could have been. And so the idea is to get you to appreciate it, to really feel the pang of not being able to drive, because I want you to realize it is an absolute privilege, and it is a great privilege. And to live in a city this big without the ability to drive really, really blows. That's just it. And I don't know if you really appreciate it. You coming up here and just telling me, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm hurt. That's not enough. I need to know that you really do appreciate the fact of how big and powerfully awesome it is to drive. I'm not ready yet to let you drive. I need to see some kind of proactivity showing me that you really appreciate being able to drive. But as it stands now, it's been 30 days since he's had this case here open. He's got the 4 cases over there. And I can tell you now, the judge that granted that license, if that judge now knows all these cases are open, I would bet my pinky toe that that judge would revoke that license now. Because I don't think any judge wants their name on a license with that kind of baggage to it. So I'm sorry. If you need more time at night, I'm happy to give you a little bit more time past 9 o'clock.
It's not so much, excuse me, it's not so much the night, it's where he works being an electrician. He has to be there earlier in the morning. So
Okay, I'm happy to work with you. You want 5 in the morning? What time do you want?
5 would be better.
Okay, done. I'll give it to you. Show me that you appreciate the fact of driving.
How do I do that?
Use your imagination. Be creative. Ingenuity goes a long way, Mr. Hodges, but you coming up here and tell me, oh, I'm so sorry, does nothing for me. Actions speak louder than words, and it's only been a mere 30 days since you picked up this case, and not to mention all those other cases that you have in Galveston County. So you are traveling far and wide, and the danger to the public is far and wide as well. I don't want anyone to die under my book, and I don't want anything under my name with that kind of, I don't want that kind of baggage in my life. I have a hard enough time sleeping as it is. Show me, and then we can talk again. But I really want you to appreciate it, and I don't think you do so far. Okay, thanks. All right.
Thanks for watching. Stick around longer and click the highlighted videos to your right. See you there.